these things are not just like, I say, not black and white. There are very, very many nuances, very complicated factors that enter into that. And for example, I was talking about, people that are stopped and searched on the street. For example, one of our daughters was riding in a Mercedes with her husband. Both of them are young. It's my last daughter. And the police stopped them in London and started quarreling with them. Who are they? How did they come to get that car and so on? And our daughter started filming them with her telephone. And the police said, don't you do that? And she said, yes, because I've not committed any offense. Just because we drive a car and we are blacks, does it mean, and eventually they were let go. Now, they thought that these people had stolen a car because they look very young, slim, the guy was looking, he's a Yoruba, he was looking slim and 20-something, and they were saying, how come that he get a Mercedes?
But this is really typical. This is what we were saying before, though.
Yeah, but now wait.
It look like those people who can be criminal, no? They fit the profile very well. Who are usually criminal? Is that what you're saying?
Now, just that is what you see. If I stop at that and I don't explain the background, you will then have all the right to protest. But what's going on is that in London and all over the UK anyway, there are gangs that are dealing with drugs, and they are very, very successful. They have a lot of money. So the police that is only dealing with criminals, is that as a policeman, you don't go to parties with nice people. So they are used to criminals, and they know that many of them, these criminals, are coming from somewhere else, or they look different. For example, there were gangs in the recent years that were taking young girls, young British white girls, and subjecting them to all kinds of rape and all the rest. And this was not even raised by the police or the media. They were all told to shut up for fear of being accused of racism. So that went on. Probably near 2,000 girls were affected until eventually it was uncovered. And you see that the police knows what happens. Why is it that these things were happening? One reason is religion. Sorry to say. Quran, encourages people, because the Muslim women are covered from head to toes. So if people see a girl that is with mini skirts and a bit, not too covered, they assume automatically that she's a prostitute. In fact, she's inviting rape. That's their own perception. You understand what I'm saying? She's perceived by these gangs as a prostitute. And in fact, they said so when they were asked by police. See, she's a prostitute, look at her, but she was not in her own point of view. So so that's one reason. Second reason is that many of these people that come from somewhere else want to get rich quick. Now, exactly like Nigeria is plagued by gangs that kidnap people every day. One of my family in Nigeria was kidnapped. He only escaped with his life by sheer miracle. They were about to shot him dead, but thankfully, he is still alive. So why are they doing that? It's just getting rich quick. And exactly the same here. So you find that there is a heavy proportion of people from somewhere else, born here or not, but with a different culture, that end up committing offense.
It is a difficult job, no? Tracy, who really are the criminal, no? If a police officer here in Europe, they are really sophisticated. They have all the instruments. They have the way to be able to monitor. They're able to tap into phone. I think the police have the possibility of identifying who the criminals is because it is their job. If a policeman, whether in US or in UK, go and arrest a man or a woman, an African, wherever you are coming from, and is really a criminal, I don't think a lot of people are going to be protesting on the street for that. Because you are a criminal, you need to be treated as a criminal. But if you just go and start harassing people on the street because they look like criminal, that is not going to be accepted. I think that is what we are trying to outline here. Not that because young people go and rape a woman and they say she dressed like a prostitute, nobody's going to justify that. That is a crime and they need to pay for it. But you don't need to start harassing people who look like them and say, yeah, they look like criminal because they look like people we arrested yesterday. I don't think that is accepted anywhere.
But you know that many of the people that are criminals are not arrested. They are in France. There is a notorious family. I don't know which country in West Africa they come from. But it's Francophone anyway. They have been protesting that they are innocent and that the family, one of them was shot in an unfortunate incident, okay? Now, they have been maligning police, they have been going on, and people, it has been proved beyond doubt that most of these family members are indeed criminals. But they escape. They usually escape. And the same happens here in the UK. The reason being that people are very reluctant to accuse them. They can be stopped, they can be taken to police station, but after that they will be released. Because people say, oh, they don't want to look like racist. People will accuse them of, hating the blacks, hating this, hating that. And so they would have a better treatment,
That is the complexity of the human nature, no? Of course, I know that some of the example, the instances, the preamble we use here are just very generic. But when we talk to individuals who have gone through some of these experiences, like in your own case, that is very particular, no? And there are many people there who have these particular cases who have told you his or her life experience. You cannot argue that, no? Like a guy I was interviewing in UK, he was born there in London for over 50 years ago, telling me how he was discriminated against in the school. Those are not just statistics. That is a real life event. And there are many like that. And also like you are saying, there are also these people who think they are smart. They just come from somewhere and they want to take advantage of the local system because it's appear to be free. Yeah, there are also those ones, no? That is where I think it's a little bit more complex. That is why I believe what you're saying, that it is not just black and white. So sometimes we need to be able to trade on the gray line. All right. Now, you were saying something before in the beginning of the episode that you didn't see yourself as white, neither are you black. So by being white, what does it mean?
I don't, there is that saying that is going on among Black Lives Matter and so many groups that, people call this white and black. I don't recognize color like that. And I know that many people now accuse people that say that, oh, if you say you are colorblind, then there's something wrong with you. It means because you are a supremacist and all these things I reject completely. All these theories. And you notice that there's something else I jotted down before we met this morning, that this issue of black and white reminds me very much of Karl Marx that I studied when I was in school, in high school in France. You see, where you had the poor and the rich. And so the poor were maltreated, the rich were the bad ones. And then you replace the poor will become rich and the rich will become poor and everything will be okay. You look at USSR, now Russia and China, and clearly this thing doesn't work.